Hi, my name is PowerOfEvil from Origen, and this is my basic champion guide to Syndra. In solo queue, you should not pick her into something like Tamkench. I think it's a difficult matchup against Fitz, Zed as well, because these champions just can easily avoid your ultimate with their ultimate. You need to play it really good. You need to force the ultimate on you to counter their ultimate. I just don't think you should blind pick her too much. Mostly it's a champion which is good against champions like LeBlanc. Otherwise against Oriana, Cassiopeia, it's all like equal matchups. You can win them, you can pretty much lose them, but it just depends on skill. So the early laning phase of Syndra is, depending on every matchup, a little bit different. Against melee champions, you should normally dominate them with the... Every time they go for a last hit, you Q them. You try to pop your Thunderlord's Decrease with QE auto attack or a WQ auto attack. It's pretty straightforward. Every time they go for a last hit, doesn't matter which champion, you try to give them a Q, a W. You only go for the stun combo if you afterwards play a little bit more careful, because you can get more easily ganked without really avoiding, let's say, Rek'Sai Tunnel. You can destroy it easily with your stun, so if you don't have it ready, you need to play a little bit more careful. Other than that, if you get ahead, you should try to either freeze the lane, dive him, or if the matchup is like a skill matchup and both are equal, just try to farm up, push him in, and maybe look for rooms. Okay, the Syndra positioning in teamfights, if you can get the carries without being in danger, it's pretty good. If not, if you can't reach the backline, you should try to hold one of the more squishiest tanks. So you have a lot of balls on the ground, and you can pretty much stun 4 or 5 people if possible. And obviously, if you can somehow get a catch before the team fight, just burst everything on the AD carry or on the mid laner, it doesn't really matter. If you kind of get the feeling how to hit the stun and how much range you have with the stun, because that's, I think, the most trickiest part on Syndra. You have already like 90% of the champion learned. Well, as mentioned before, I think one cool trick on Syndra is that you, as example, Q the backline minions. You try to wait for your next Q spell, so you can stun him with the ball on the ground. You instantly Q ultimate him, but you should use Q first, because the Q instantly gets used for the ultimate as well. The second trick is against LeBlanc, so if you just use E-spell the moment he literally is in front of you, you can't miss it and you interrupt his damage. You interrupt his damage and you interrupt, maybe you stun him and you can wombo combo him afterwards, but these are, I think, the most, or like the best tricks you can actually do on Syndra. Okay, so in red runes, I'm taking Hyper Penetration, because I really like to have the magic and the armor penetration in nearly every matchup. It helps you just to auto-tech trade, to magic trade with spells, so I just feel like they're really worth it. In yellows, I take the HP per level. You can use armor flat if you're playing against Zed, Talon, maybe Varus, but in nearly any other matchup, I would suggest going HP per level. And in blues, I take 6 times CDR per level. And you can choose to take 3 times AP per level in the blues afterwards, or magic resistance per level, magic resistance flat. It kind of just depends on you as a player, what you prefer and what you like. And crins are just standard, 3 times 5 AP. Okay, so I'm going 12-18-0. I like to go the feast just for laning phase, getting 20 HP. Every 20 seconds is just pretty good. Afterwards, I go for the Bounty Hunter. As Syndra, you're like an assassin player, so you get a lot of kills normally, and you can normally always use this. In the 18, I go for the Cookies, which is pretty standard, I would say. Going for a dangerous game. I don't really like the Bandit, so I would always say you should go for a dangerous game. And then at pretty much, I think I'm at the moment trying out going for the 5% CDR and going for Thunderlord Decree, because if you go for the 5% CDR, you can reach 45% CDR with the items, the runes and masteries together with a quite good item build. I'm at the moment just trying to figure out how many balls you can keep on the ground for the ultimate, and every Q who's on the ground deals more damage, so I'm still trying that out, but I think it's pretty good. Level 1, I nearly always go Q. There's only one option when I take W, and that's against Kassadin. If you Q him and he Qs you, he will block the whole damage of your Q spell. So you take the W, let him Q you, you kind of chase him and throw it afterwards on him. Other than that, in every other matchup you go Q, level 2 E-spell, because you can pop the Thunderlord pretty easy if you QE him, you stun him, and then you pop it with the third auto attack, which is a lot of burst, even so the Q spell got nerfed like a few patches ago really strong. Afterwards, you always max Q spell first, and then I really, as a player, prefer to max the stun, because the cooldown goes really low, and you can just very often get more opportunities. You can get more catches, you can help your team out in team fights. After you use ultimate, you can get like maybe 2 stuns out on like multiple people. So I really like to second max E, and as last obviously you go for the W. As starting items, you take the Doran's Ring and 2 heal pots. It's pretty much standard. I don't think the Dark Seal is too strong right now because it's too much of a risk to take. So I would always suggest to go for the Doran's Ring. As next item, you have the options against APs. You can go for the Fiends, or you can go for the early Abyssal. I like to go either the Finnish Codex and then going Abyssal, or going the Fiends and afterwards Abyssal. It depends on how much gold you have when you recall or when you need to recall. So it kind of changes the pathing. But you nearly always go a Fiends Abyssal against AP, and against ADs you can go Morelos Armseeker. You don't need to upgrade the Zhonya's early, but the Armseeker for armor and stacking is pretty strong. If you have against AP a Fiends Abyssal, let's say Sock Boots, because I don't think the CDR boots are too strong on her. You should go for just crucial burst, so I would suggest Rabadons, and then you have the option to instantly go afterwards Void Staff. So you have pretty much 5 items, and then it lays on you again. You can go for the Rylai's, what I really like, or you can go for the Ludens if you want more movement speed. You can go for Zhonya's even so you're playing against an AP, because you can, let's say, destroy the 6 ultimate if you use Zhonya's. And the item build kind of changes to AD. Just the Fiends changes to Morelos, and the Abyssal changes to Ludens, an early Rylai's. You don't need the Void Staff too early. I think it's more important to get the Rabadons as like 3rd item, 4th item, before you go for the Void Staff. Because with the Abyssal, let's say Sock Boots, you have already a lot of magic penetration, and normally you just need crucial AP. Thanks for watching this Syndra basic champion guide. Make sure to check out the rest of the guides over at lolclass.com.